Episode starts and the police have sealed the area from the outside to save the crime scene from tempering evidence. Misaki and Corpse God go to Rosin to share the truth about Polka. They are unsure if he will understand what happened to Polka, but things are getting slightly out of hand, since they think it's necessary to take Rosin into confidence. Misaki and Corpse God sits in a separate room with Rosin and asks him to send away every person. He wants to ensure that no one is listening, as he does not want to share his reality with anyone other than Rosin. Rosin accepts his request and sends away the men sitting across the wall, eavesdropping. On the other hand, Lemming reaches out to his boss Takeru Shinoyama to report. Takeru thinks that Lemming has accomplished the task, but starts grinding his teeth after knowing that Lemming has returned unsuccessful. Lemming reports that Polka somehow approached twins before him. That makes Takeru even angrier. While hearing all that Misaki and Corpse God told him, Rosin thinks about what he should do with them. It infuriated Rosin to know that Misaki tried to cut Polka's throat. He uncovers his sword and places it over Misaki's throat as he wants to know the purpose behind telling him all this. He warns about killing her in a brief moment and wants to know if she is ready for her death. Telling him such horrible facts about his son needs a lot of courage. Watching that Rosin has kept the sword over Misaki's throat, Corpse God makes a shield in his hand that would save her in time. But Misaki smiles as she tells Rosin she is unafraid of him, because he looks like a soft-hearted man who cannot harm anyone. At the same time, the shark comes out from Corpse God's collar and sits on the table. It shouts at Rosin not to kill Misaki. Rosin can hear his son Polka's voice in a shark's body. With huge amazement, Rosin asks if it's true that Polka's soul is safe in another body, and it's a shark if he is guessing it right. To confirm what Rosin has understood from the story, the shark nods. Rosin's only concern is why he chose to be in a shark's body of all the things. But after all, Rosin is happy that his son is safe and happy in his current body. He laughs at the situation but immediately becomes serious again, because as a head of the Shinoyama family, he ought to act seriously. Rosin shows them his mobile, which has a robot picture. It's Shinoyama's recent project. But after all the discussion, he could not understand why Corpse God had to keep the shark with him. But having Polka's soul and shark and body with Corpse God, Rosin is sure that his son is safe now. Going away, he admits that he thought badly of Misaki, who saved his grandchildren. Later that evening, Rosin thinks of what Corpse God and Misaki told him. He is joining the missing pieces of puzzles and wants to know more about who their intermediary is. The most alarming is that someone in his family wants to kill Polka. But after thinking a lot, Rosin could not come up with a name for who could be their enemy. But he believes in karma, that his bad deeds are causing problems in his son's life. Coming out of the main door, Corpse God calls his friend Akiri. Akiri is surprised as he didn't expect Corpse God to tell his real story to everyone. But correcting him, Corpse God says that he has only shared his story with one person, and he is Rosin. Corpse God hangs up the call after telling Akiri that he will stay longer in Shinjuku, while Misaki takes Shark from Corpse God and confesses that she is sorry about what she did to him. She hugs Shark to her, and Shark gets extremely happy. Watching the love of the shark for Misaki, Corpse God does not understand why the shark is affectionate towards its killer. Suddenly, twins Kazuki and Shizuki come towards them, running as they want to thank both Misaki and Corpse God before they leave their house. Misaki happily accepts their gratitude, while Corpse God does not like to take the fake credit. Going away, he shared the reality that a guardian spirit asked him to rescue the twins. And it's not him, their uncle Polka, who rescued them with the help of spirit, but a fortune teller named Corpse God came to their rescue from lemmings. Misaki does not know anything about any guardian spirit, hence she wants to know if she is someone in contract with him. But he denies, turning his head and smiles, watching the guardian spirit standing behind the twins. Not now, but at an appropriate time, he will make a contract with this spirit. Tan Suramura is sitting behind bars at the Tokyo Detention Center, hearing the latest news. According to Inspector Tsubaki, fire-spitting flies have entered the city. They destroyed one petrol car that had arson in it. Tans want to watch the video of the skeleton that attacked to find its capabilities, but Tsubaki agreed to show him the video on the condition that he would provide the information they needed. Hearing that Tans does not wait, and like an expert illusionist, he comes out behind the bar easily after turning the lights off, while another policeman walks into the investigation room to know what happened. He points his torch toward the room where Tan Suramura is sitting for investigation. It was a huge surprise for them as Tan Suramura broke out of the locked rooms. Police have named Tan Suramura as Phantom Solitaire, while Polka and Misaki sit in front of Shuru, who likes the real Polka, while Corpse King is sitting with Misaki in front of Suru and having fun, while Inspector Tsubaki is holding a meeting after Tan Suramura escaped. The journalists make fun of him, knowing he flees during his investigation with Tsubaki. He briefs how Tans have only caused them trouble in the 3 years. At first, he stole a highly valuable painting from the museum to give content to the city's YouTubers. The next time, he used a metropolitan government building. Tans used tricks and illusions that made it look like there was no building, while the building was there. After committing many such crimes, he committed another one that made Tans popular worldwide. It's when he kidnaps their prime minister by throwing a piece of fabric over the prime minister's head. Afterwards, anyone who lifted the cloth did not find the prime minister under it. Later, he kidnapped all the top opposition leaders. Tans released the prime minister that evening. During his time with Tans, the prime minister shared that he read nice manga books. Briefing about Tans the Phantom Solitaire, Tsubaki says he invited all the press and police one day and got arrested. He announced to everyone that he wanted to meet one true potential magician. Tsubaki gets angry with Tans that he disturbed the country like a child for his simple target. Tans get emotional as he likes how kids are carefree and he loves it. After that, the police arrest him and Tsubaki thinks Tans is mad. While Corpse God has brought an old radio at home from a scrape store, he shows it to his friends and tunes it to listen to the different channels. One news channel tells the news of the burning of a patrolling car and an arson died along with it, while the second news is about the escape of Phantom Solitaire. Hearing this, a girl calls over Tsubaki to listen to the news. Tsubaki does not like how the newscaster is telling everything on the TV. The magical pencil moves fast and rapidly describes the information about the Phantom Solitaire. But the stick gets their attention by reminding them that it has no record of who Phantom Solitaire is, which is true because it was trapped for many years. Arias-san starts by telling what he knows about Phantom that, along with a couple of others, it used to be a myth. But after making so many public appearances, he is no longer a myth. Hearing the news, Tsubaki notices that the news channel has hired a new newscaster. The Tokyo Square is full of people who want to know more about the escape of Phantom Solitaire. They are excited to know that Phantom is a famous illusionist and favorite crowd pleaser. Suddenly, the man on the screen changes his appearance and clothes as a newscaster and welcomes himself for appearing again in public. He is Phantom Solitaire and greets everyone, thanking the police who tried to make him a sober man. The crowd in the square is happy to see their favorite trick master in front of them, and they wave their hands with excitement. The Phantom goes off screen, saying he will reappear with another trick in a week. Now, Tsubaki joins the sequence of events today as he thinks Phantom got the broadcasting signals from a companion in jail named Grocer. On the other hand, Phantom stands on the rooftop of a building and is happy to discover that he will now practice magic along with illusionary tricks. Just then, he hears the ringtone as someone is calling. Converting Rose by trick, he picks up the call expecting Grocer on the other side. But it's El Bimbo standing before him but talking through the phone. Unknowing who is on the other side, Phantom Solitaire picks up the call and is surprised to hear that he is El Bimbo. Phantom Solitaire takes everything lightly, but he gets stunned to know that El Bimbo has approached him and is standing right before him. He makes fun of him for not talking directly but calling on a phone. El Bimbo gets closer to him through a fireball, while Corpse God and his friends are counting the famous enemies of the other world. Misaki is a big fan of Phantom Solitaire for his smart show of tricks and illusions that keep everyone entertained. Corpse God start telling the names of real enemies they should know about. First, it's King Killer, and the other is Dragon of Destruction. Both are famous enemies and hard to win any battle with. After the Calamity Crusher fights and draws the fight with the Dragon of Destruction, the Corpse God assumes it can kill him too. But the Corpse God is determined to win any fight with Calamity Crusher. Watching the books from his world, the Corpse God shares how he killed a dangerous worm. The dragons in his world look similar to the ones in this world, with many similarities, such as having fire and wind elements common, while the Phantom is under attack by Fire Safety, who gets to it in every direction. On the cell phone, Fire Safety shares that he is angry with him for being a wasteful human, who cares for himself by eating, sleeping, and having a joyful life. Meanwhile, Phantom continuously uses his tricks to avoid getting burnt by fire. Phantom Solitaire runs away to save himself from the fire thrown by El Bimbo, but he falls down the building. Just then, he puts his hand over the corner of a wall and keeps hanging. After a while, Phantom makes the balloons and hangs himself with them, which helps him slowly get down without hurting him. He falls down the building when Fire Safety makes a hole in its balloon. He falls in the middle of a big fire and his clothes start burning. Phantom runs away, but Fire Safety surrounds Phantom from all directions after a while. At the same time, his mobile phone falls on the roof and the call with El Bimbo hangs. Now he stands over the El Bimbo, and fire has burnt many things around him. He has managed to overpower El Bimbo with his smartness and keep him distracted. But as a lover of havoc and destruction, he likes all of this. Now Phantom Solitaire talks directly to El Bimbo, who knows that Phantom wants companions who know magic this time. On the other hand, Corpse God is sitting with his friend late at night when someone knocks at the door. Fearing what they would do if it were lemmings on the door, they slowly opened it. But they get excited to see Polka in front of them with twins. Watch this left video and subscribe to Annie Summary for more anime recaps.